Who's that?
The most powerful shape-shifting sorceress, the chameleon.
How do I find the chameleon?
I'm gonna lead you right to her front door.
Hey.
Hi, Kelly.
My family is huge fans of the Kung Fu Panda franchise, and my 9-year-old son said that this one is actually his favorite yet.
Yes!
So kudos, yeah!
Woo! We did now tell him to go to school and tell all of his friends to go see it opening weekend.
All of 3rd grade will be there, yes.
Please.
Well,
Great.
and talk to me, because this time around we get to meet a couple new characters, which is really fun too, with Jen and the chameleon.
Yeah, it was cool. Well, first we made sure that we brought as many of the old characters back that we could. You know, Mr. Ping and Lee, his dads, which was so fun. But yeah, we thankfully Awkwafina agreed to be in our film, and we created this gray Corsac Chinese fox, and it was neat because Awkwafina and Jack Black are buddies in real life, and it kind of made it easy for them to kind of play off each other and be buddies, and we kind of let that inform our storytelling. And then with Viola Davis, when she signed on, it was really cool because I just saw this film. We just had the premiere yesterday. And it was the first time I was able to watch the film without having to work on it. Like, I didn't have a job. I could really just sit there with my popcorn and watch like everyone else. And I noticed that her voice was so great with that design, matched up so well. And then with the Hans Zimmer score was so creepy. And I was like, wow, that's a great villain. And that's one of the things that I think is the best thing about this franchise. One of the best things is it has the best villains. They create such good villains in these Kung Fu Panda movies. So I was happy that I feel that we created a really good villain.
I agree with you. And I love that, they also have so many great themes. And this one, is all about change. And I love the line where it was like, sometimes it's easier to hold on to the life rather than, move on to a life that you don't, type of a thing.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about change.
It probably took a while to get to the screen because I didn't want to just make another film. We wanted to be able to tell a really good story, and a lot of good storytelling for these animated films, even though they look like cartoon characters that are singing or dancing or doing epic kung fu, we really like to have a theme that's not in your face, but something that elevates the story and that people can get a lot out of, and not just kids, adults as well. So when we came up with Change, we figured it was something that like kids go from grade school to junior high to high school, and there's a lot of anxiety that goes with that, and a lot of fear that goes with change. And same with adults, like even us, like going from one job to another job or moving locations can be very stressful. And we thought it was very relatable. And and we're hopeful that when Poe learns this story, that maybe our audience can learn the same story, that when you change, it's not leaving anything behind. You're just becoming more than what you already are. And maybe you're becoming someone even better than you already were. And so our goal is to have people less anxiety out there in the world. There's so much fear and so much anxiety. So maybe with this, if we can embrace change with open arms, it's a good thing.
I love how all of the characters are fully fleshed out. We see Poe's dad kind of stepping into bravery, and we see there's some fun tricks and turns that others might not see coming, which was super fun too. So
Great.
I appreciate that it's not it's spread out, so to speak.
Well, I'll tell you another sub-theme that I think is interesting, like when people go see this with their families and discuss it later. Poe is a black and white panda, so we figured he sees everything in black and white. There's heroes and there's villains. And Jin is kind of this gray Corsac fox. She's kind of shades of gray. She's kind of a villain. She's a friend. She's helping Poe take down the villain, but she's also a thief, and she hangs out with criminals. So that tapped into our theme of one's judging a book by its cover, but also Poe is like having faith that she can change, right? He's growing to try to have an open mind that maybe Jin can change and become a good person. And I thought that was, we like that for this current kind of internet world that we live in, where people want to point like, you're bad and you're good and you're good and you're bad. That maybe we're all imperfect, and maybe there's shades of gray, and we should be a little open-minded, right? So that was another little sub-theme that we crammed in there to change.
I love that it's reinforced even with the color palette that you chose. And you're right, we are
that's
all
a little tricky marketing thing that we came up with, but I really like it.
we're all works in progress. So thank you so much for taking the time today. And I cannot wait for audiences to get to see this.